So my Mythic Legion's Dragon Breakdown video was a couple days ago, and I had some interesting reactions to it in the comments section. That video was pretty much like I do, a breakdown, just kind of going over an overview of the campaign, the pricing, the tiers, the different products available in this campaign, the timeline, and all that stuff. I also talked about how much it sucks for international buyers that the shipping is so high and just the unfortunate situation of the shipping. And I try to share my opinions on why I think that is the case, why I think that is the reality. And some people in the comments suggested that I was not being fair, that I was suppressing the voices of others by only including my own opinion and not bringing in the opinions of people outside, even as far as to say that I'm just a shill who gets paid by Four Horsemen and gets free stuff, and I only say good things about Four Horsemen. So I don't want to have my channel be this place of where people feel like they don't have a voice. Obviously, YouTube is the place where anybody can have a channel and they can share their own voice, and I share mine here. But people want to have their voice shared on my channel, and I guess I have the ability to kind of enable that a little bit. So I decided to put a post out in the community tab of my channel asking people to share their opinions, and specifically for this video, I put a post out there that said, share your opinions, your hot takes, your criticisms, your praise, your disappointment, your wishes, and anything else you want to say about the Dragon campaign. A couple little rules. I'm only sharing the top level comments. I'm not digging into any of the replies to any of those comments, just because for the sake of, it's like 100 comments. It's a lot. I think this video could be kind of long. So just to keep things organized that way. And then, the other thing is trying to only share ones that are on topic. I think they're all on topic. There was a couple like jokey ones that I'll still probably include, because it's not gonna slow the video down to have those. But, yeah, so people were pretty good about like staying on topic, and, I'm not going to comment on them. Some of you will respond in the comment section towards them, and that's totally fine. I personally am not going to comment. I'm literally just going to read these comments without my own criticism or my own reactions or anything. Give everybody who made a comment equal airtime or whatever. Some are longer than others, but like equal weight, I guess, in this. I do want to just mention that if you are going to tag one of the commenters, please be polite. There's no reason to have debate or disagreement in a way that is an attack or any sort of like insult or anything like that. I think that one of the problems we have in our internet society is that people have a really hard time handling when they are disagreed with. Oftentimes they think that if someone disagrees with them, they must be lying, or that they are attacking them, or, somebody disagreed with me, I'm under attack. There are a whole bunch of people who disagree with me politely. I got dragged. Like, that's all BS. Like, just deal with somebody who has a different opinion than you. Just because you have an opinion that a whole bunch of people disagree with doesn't mean you're being dragged in the community. You are out there sharing your opinions. Other people have just as much of a right to call out your opinion as you have to have that opinion. Nobody's taking away your free speech. Just be polite, have a conversation, have fun. And here we go. Let's get into these comments. And these comments are going in order from the earliest comment to the latest comment. And again, I am not reading any of the replies just for organizational purposes. I'm just reading the main comment that everybody made. Comment number 1, Gotti Prime. It's an overpriced dragon that you have to pay extra for to get other pieces with, and no concern for shipping costs. After 10 plus years of planning, this can't be the best idea the Four Horsemen have come up with. Everything should have been $500 with an early bird incentive for the Sir Benegar figure. The rest of the figures could be solicited separately later. OKTRE, Octree 4920. For such an expensive pre-order, it should let you put a deposit down and then let you pay on it at your leisure until its release, or at least widen the pre-order window. I shouldn't have to drop $1,000 all at once for Dragon and all add-ons plus shipping on something I won't even see for maybe another 2 years, or at least extend the campaign a few months, maybe 3 or 4 instead of 1. Just to clarify, I'm not complaining about the price. I understand it probably costs an arm and a leg to make these things. My main issue is that the timeline for ordering is so short, it could have been at least like 2 to 3 months minimum. Cram 2979. Given Four Horsemen history, do we really believe this will release when it says it will and not a year later? 07DOHC says, my only thoughts on it are, not including the add-on packs, the figures are cool as stretch goals, but I'm backing a dragon, not individual figures. I would rather say stretch goals be for the dragon to make it even more epic, like extra claws pack as one goal. Goal 2, the same head, but maybe some blood painted on it and a broken horn. A saddle so I can have another figure ride it. I'm sure I could come up with more, but I would love the stretch goals to benefit the dragon, the thing. Ricardo Sanchez. I wish they made it just slightly smaller to bring cost down, or made the minimum higher. Anything to get it less than $630 for just the base dragon with shipping. I want it, but this is a lot. Hot take, maybe, from Mortem89. For those saying the dragon is too expensive, if you have a credit card and cannot afford at least half of what the figure is worth as a down payment, then ride out the rest of the payments. I wouldn't recommend spending money you don't have. You can literally pay this off before the figure arrives at your door. Daniel Murdoch 3086. It's a toy. Buy what you love, or don't buy. Too many other more important things to get upset over. Brother Lore. The price and quality is top notch. It's the shipping to Europe and customs fee that made me miss out on the dragon. It drives up the price to more than once as much, to more than double, I guess. But then again, high-end statue collectors are dealing with such things on a regular basis, and it's not Four Horsemen's fault. So I won't cry. Instead, I will enjoy my Necronominous wave that's on its way to me as I write this. Cowabunga dude. Is the dragon expensive? Yes. Is it overpriced? No. This is a once-in-a-lifetime purchase. A monster-sized centerpiece that can go with anything I've collected in my 40-plus years. This is a must-have for me. Vonnie Rotten. How dare you speak for yourself? I am both appalled and disgusted that you have used your channel as a method of pushing your agenda and not the agenda of everyone else's all at once. I think you should emphasize more roleplay and role-play any and all possible permutations of an argument. Let me read that again. I think you should emphasize more and role-play any and all possible I think you should emphasize more and role-play any and all possible permutations of an argument, regardless of its validity and your own feelings. Sorry, I'm fumbling over words. I'm not laughing at the sarcasm here. I'm laughing at my inability to read. We got a long way to go anyways. Okay, continuing. I would also like access to your channel so I can upload my own videos expressing my views. I feel marginalized by the fact that you started a YouTube channel years ago to discuss the things that interested you and wanted to share those interests with others who may or may not agree. Nimai Medeiros. After the accessories, it became extremely overpriced in my opinion. Doing 2 different accessory sets at the going price is crazy. Predpool 2425. I believe this will make a great Puff the Magic Dragon, and no, I am not going to sing it, but I will read it. Oh, Puff the Magic Dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Puff the Magic Dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. A dragon lives forever, but not so, little boys. Painted wings and giant's rings make way for other toys. One gray night it happened. Jackie Paper came no more, and Puff, that mighty dragon, he ceased his fearless roar. His head was bent in sorrow. Green scales felt like rain. Puff no longer went to play along the cherry lane. Without his lifelong friend, Puff could not be brave. So Puff, that mighty dragon, sadly slipped into his cave. The name here is hidden. Let me see if I can look up this name. Hang on one second. This person, I'm not even gonna. Whatever. They don't even really have much to say here, anyways. They made a comment on my other video. I shared mine already, and I have nothing further to add. But I respect that you are addressing it forthwith. Okay. I was gonna go look it up, but I realized the comment doesn't really add a lot. So. Anyway, Carlos Castillo 86. Hot take. In fact, I'm sure most people will disagree with me, but I think the price could have been dramatically reduced in both cost of item and shipping cost. If the Four Horsemen would have opted to rotocast the parts, aka making them hollow inside, I believe I read that the dragon was around 30 pounds. So with a more hollow inside, the dragon would weigh around 15 pounds, and because of better plastics and resin available nowadays, this would not make it more fragile. Same thing with articulation, it could have been decreased a bit. Look at that super colossal dinosaur Mattel put out for under $100 shipped. I'm not saying make it exactly like that Mattel super colossal dino, but maybe a compromise in between them and the current setup. I get that the dragon is a passion project for Eric in the studio, and if they are going to make a dragon, they are going to make it exactly how they want it. But it is really sad for many fans that were willing to spend several $100s on the dragon, that they now are forced in between abandoning the idea of owning the dragon or spending close to $700 on average for the dragon alone without the add-ons, including shipping plus taxes for folks in the US and $1,100 on average for folks internationally for the dragon alone. I may be way off on estimates, but those are the averages based on what I have seen posted. Liquid MMENTM 2899. The price is fine for me, but the shipping to Hawaii cost more than the product. $545 USPS or $700 FedEx. Congrats to all that can get this awesome piece. My hope is that Big Bad Toy Store or some other retailer will order this and get it then. Fingers crossed. Middle-aged guy. I can relate to that name. It's your YouTube channel. I subscribed to hear your opinions. If I want to hear other people's point of view, I look at the comments. I want the dragon and the add-ons. I planned ahead and budgeted for this, and I hope it hits all the stretch goals. Karis1078. For me personally, this is the dragon that I have been waiting my entire life for as a toy collector. I backed it along with both of its add-ons on day one with no questions asked. You get what you pay for, and I have all the confidence in the world that the Horsemen will deliver the dragon that we have all been waiting to add to our collections. Junkian Crafts and Builds. DorkLair, I respect you and your channel. After briefly talking to you at LegionsCon, I know your passion for Four Horsemen isn't in question, nor should your objectivity in providing a fair shake on this campaign. I also applaud you for taking the time to read and reread the same comments in a video, not for clicks per se, but to allow those who are frustrated to be heard for 15-30 seconds. You are a better man than I for doing this. This is a figure that is not for everyone, be it for scale, cost, or procurement. I will most likely join those who will include this into their collection. This may be the culmination for my Legions collection. If any criticism could be provided, I wish the campaign would be at least 2 weeks longer. 6 weeks for something with this price tag would have been preferred. I also feel that Four Horsemen should have put out an articulation video showing exactly how the dragon will move. This would give collectors a sense of real-life scaling and how they could potentially showcase this figure off. My 2 cents. Adrian Jones. Hey, Bill. Love your channel, of course, and honestly would only expect to hear your take on things you discuss. But since you asked, I will say this. The horsemen definitely kept their word. Jeremy said the dragon would be over 400 and well under 700. They delivered. The only gripes I have is that the add-ons are more expensive than I anticipated. It definitely sweetens the pot that they include figures, but honestly I wish there was some form of flame effect that came with the dragon. For the exception of Granomir, a dragon action figure wouldn't feel complete without a flame effect, like the wings. I feel that the more elaborate flame effect should have come as an add-on, but again, it sucks that a $550 dragon doesn't include fire. That is my biggest gripe. Minor gripe is that I wish a 4-pack had been offered of the Ashen characters, the skeleton in particular. Tom Clayton. I am an old man that has been collecting for decades. I've bought and sold numerous items over the years and churned my collection over and over again. This dragon is exactly what I expected it to be. I've already put in my order. You can please some of the people all the time. You can please all of the people some of the time, but you can't please all of the people all of the time. Lidgate. Toy Culprits. The base dragon Beyithirr is absolutely amazing. I think it's really hard sometimes to take a step back and not want to buy everything. I know I struggled with it. Everyone's financials, location, shipping and taxing, etc. vary, but in my boat, the total cost for a base dragon would be $641.53, and for all of it, $1,044.60. Really reflect on that base price. $650 for this base dragon plus whatever unlocks we get is absolutely incredible deal if you just look at the base dragon compared to other large toys out there. It's just too easy to get caught up on the $1,000 price tag. If the base had been released, it still would have, if just the base had been released, it still would have been incredible, and I think some of the discussions we're having would be very different, but I'm so glad that they made optional add-ons. It gives people choices depending on their situations without increasing the price of this glorious base dragon. Oh crap, it's Frieza. Okay. Oh crap, it's Frieza. Do you think if the dragon is at 5,000 backers, anything else could be added? I love the Burning Knight, but also in the future, I can see them maybe doing a melted armor sculpt, and that would be amazing. Gluten Freestyle. More dialogue of you just going through the community thoughts. More dialogue of you just going through the community thoughts. What you would have done differently. Play devil's advocate. Also do the Four Horsemen's viewpoint, and maybe go over ideas for international shipping. Ideas for people who may still want it outside of the US but can't handle the shipping costs. Also the slow takeoff crowd thinking it should have funded by now. Honestly, your ideas have been spot on lately, so it's interesting to watch no matter what. The Collector 1913. Absolutely worth the price. Great vid and thanks for great content. Iron Man Akatsuki. The dragon itself looks fantastic, and if the Dragon Knight and Ashen Skeleton are unlocked, then the dragon package as a whole is a wonderful deal. I am particularly tempted by that Fiery Breath set and Burning Knight, both of which look really impressive. Miguel Gonzalez, Thunder G51. Since November, Jeremy has hinted that the dragon was going to be like an all-in wave, if I'm correct, so $500 to $600. Also, to start saving. We got 4 months to save. That's what I did. Now the dragon is $550 plus shipping. That's a great value, and thank you for making this happen. Now all the add-ons are bonus that you can purchase, which is great if you want them. People, you don't have to purchase them. The dragon is the main item, period. William, the people that are complaining, crying, are the ones that want everything and won't be able to get it. Next Friday, I'm making my purchase. I'll be getting the dragon and the fire add-on, and that's it. I'm going to pause for a second and just say, it's really hard not to comment and react. And I'm thinking maybe I'll do this again. If people like this video, I'll do it again, and then I'll respond to stuff, because there are people who are asking me questions and stuff. It's hard to do it, but it's good exercise in listening, essentially. All right, so Murder Show Toys. It's crazy to hear that YouTube has started to charge money to set up accounts now. I mean, it used to be that anyone could sign up and make a video expressing their personal opinions for free. Such a shame that's no longer the case. Laura, without a real-time counter, they can just say the dragon is whatever number they want. Mistari? YM3MW. I've been waiting so long for an epic dragon like this, and I've already backed with both add-ons. It would be nice to see how it would look in a flying pose, as hanging it from the ceiling might be a way to display it without taking up all that shelf space. Thanks. Unkindium. Really love your content. For full transparency, I ordered the dragon within the first 10 minutes it launched. I will say this, probably the only large dragon I'll be getting from the Horsemen, even if we see other pillars they teased, because it scratches the itch for me. My hope for the future is that we get smaller Wyvern dragon mounts announced this year for the people who missed out on this dragon for any reason, for cost or space. I think some bitterness we are seeing is justification for the feeling for... Sorry, I'm going to start that sentence again. I think some bitterness we are seeing is justification for feeling FOMO, and if the Four Horsemen provide people with another dragon option that's cheaper, cost and space-wise, it might ameliorate the frustration. Maybe people will find some way to get mad at that too, who knows? Ideally, I was hoping the add-on packs would be cheaper, so I'm skipping them personally, since I will likely never have the space to display the dragon with them equipped. L04. I want to start by saying I backed the dragon and the flame effect. This is the most expensive toy I have ever bought, but I did want it. My thoughts are that while the add-on figures are cool, I really feel like they add unnecessary costs to the dragon, especially the figures with the add-on sets part of the base offering. I would have much preferred $100 sets or cheaper without the figures. I love the toys I do have, but I am in this for the dragon, and I think figures in the base offering. Miguel Gonzalez. He was earlier, he's adding on, it looks like. Also, LOL, my Dragonfly was shipped to my old address in Williamsburg. The cost for it to be shipped to, what is that? Oklahoma City? What is OKC? Is that Oklahoma City? It was 120-ish. So I knew it was going to be about that for the dragon. It was my fault, but it is what it is. Mr. Free to Be Me 1. Will we see a video showing off dragons full articulating? Rad Toyologist. You're such a pillar in the community that people expect your channel videos to be fair and balanced with all possible opinions. Laugh emoji. I'm Perceived Velocity 9914. I'm happy that this dragon will exist. I don't think it will ever become part of my collection, though. In the future, I hope that the Horsemen create horse-sized dragons that other figures can ride. The full-sized dragon can be ancient, and then the small dragons could be juvenile, something like that. Snow everywhere. There is nothing stopping anyone from making their own video complaining about this or any other product. The fact that someone just cries and makes indefensible accusations in the comment section of an informative video speaks to their laziness. Texas 1911. Do you guys really think that Jeremy, as the head of marketing, didn't do his diligence and research for every scenario to satisfy all you ungrateful people? How many of you run a multi-million toy company or even a small business? Very few, I bet. No company is perfect and mistakes will happen. At the end of the day, these are just toys. You don't have to buy it. It's a freaking awesome dragon. Buy it. Herb Vieten Hans. Herb Vieten Hans, 3285. I'm sure I'm butchering that name. Thank you for being the community whipping post, I guess. It's your channel and your voice, so use your platform as you see fit. I find your videos to be helpful and informative. As far as the dragon goes, I think a lot of people are shocked by the cost because it was unexpected. It's hard to find people It's hard for people to grasp an industry such as manufacturing, which has a lot of moving parts, prototyping, logistics, etc., especially if they are not directly involved in the industry. I don't pretend to know a lot about cars, nor would I expect a mechanic to know a lot about the machines I use. This is also being funded on a very small scale compared to the likes of Hasbro or McFarlane or... let me repeat that. This is also being funded on a very small scale compared to the likes of Hasbro or McFarlane, as 2,000 units is a drop in the bucket for the amount of toys these other companies pump out. Smaller support, more costs go up. I do think that what isn't being conveyed well by Four Horsemen is what's next. Okay, so the community helps you fund the dragon, startup cost, tooling, etc. What is the next dragon going to cost? Is the next dragon going to cost just as much since the molds are now created? I'm assuming they will reuse at least everything except the head in paint color. Stretch goals. The addition of a burned skeleton is cool, but it pales in comparison to the burning Hagnon Knight or Sir Benegar. It would be nice to have something else if it gets fully funded. If it does not get fully funded, then I would hope we could order Sir Benegar in the burning Hagnon Knight, but I understand if that's not the case, as their purpose is to encourage everyone to fund the dragon. Art by Ackerman. I am stoked the dragon is here. Of the 3 campaigns, I think the wing add-on is the weakest in terms of consumer value, but I understand it's because of the massive tooling. The fire add-on is worth it without a dragon, in my opinion. As far as your reviews go, I feel like you give a very balanced opinion where you talk about what you like and what you dislike. Keep up the great work. Maverick 7730. Hot take, only those that back the dragon should be the ones that get to complain about anything, as they are the people that have taken the risk to crowdfund it. Opinion, we've had plenty of notice for people to prepare, research, and decide if they could afford the dragon or not. People are even doing unconventional means like GoFundMe, so anyone giving up instantly means they didn't do their due diligence to figure out how to get the dragon, and we're going to wing it. Pun intended. Blue Sky Guy. I think you should say whatever you want to say on your channel. I think the people that are being negative on your channel are just projecting because of their own inner frustrations. Please keep making Sigma videos. Smiley face. Billy Beige Customs. My opinion. Any other company would do this campaign. Any other company wouldn't do this campaign. It needs at least 2,000 orders to get made, minus shipping. That's $1.1 million. The entire production on this thing is so close to that amount due to size, tooling, paint, assembly, packaging, storage, shipping, and paying everyone who worked on it. It's so tight that there are just fans doing word-of-mouth marketing campaign, basically. This isn't like normal waves that make a profit to roll into the next wave, etc. This is a passion project, and in 2025 shouldn't exist. Not because it's too expensive or shipping is high. It's because companies don't do this. They don't do things for fans or communities that don't turn a profit. Cookies Bricks. I just wanted to thank you for what you do. People are going to be blown away when they get the dragon in hand. Quip 209. This will be the one figure I regret passing on. GU 1979. I understand the complexity of producing a figure like this, but I was a little disappointed that the dragon will not be available on the retailers. In my case, I live in Europe, and it's not easy to buy figures directly from Four Horsemen. It's very expensive. The same thing applies for exclusive figures only available at shows in the US. The collectors outside the US should be able to have access to them in the retailers. For us, it's almost impossible to go to the US shows to buy figures. Love your channel. Keep up the good work. 23 Jansky. I want one. Prayer hands. Desicker. Dragon complaints incoming, only because you asked for them. During the G-Con presentation, they said they increased the dragon size by 20% for kicks. Then they stuck with that. This added size makes it more expensive, harder to ship, harder to display, and will make it harder for the dragon to support its own weight when posing. This is probably the biggest issue since it ties into other problems for the dragon. Why can't the dragon stand on its hind legs? This is a no-brainer pose to be able to hit. They should not have finalized the dragon without being able to hit such a basic pose. This plays into the narrative that legions don't pose well. They are only about sculpt and paint, even when costing $1,000. Can the dragon have the flame effect in its mouth with the far end of the flame effect in the air? Expect the flame end must be supported at the far end. They haven't shown a picture of the flame in the air unsupported yet. Having 4 figures as stretch goals inflates the price unnecessarily. The zombie and skeleton are essentially Legion builder figures and not exciting. The stretch goals should have been dragon-centric, like a dragon hand for grabbing figures, the flame effect, and the alternate dragon head. The fiery breath add-on set shouldn't exist. It is redundant to have 2 necks. They should have worked on the neck articulation until a single neck allowed for both posing options. It is supposed to be a figure, not a statue, that requires swapping out the entire neck to hit a different pose. One head with an articulated jaw could accomplish both poses without needing a $150 add-on pack. The 4 horsemen should not have revealed that there are 5 pillars of mythos. Now people are incentivized to skip this release and wait for future releases. Why pay $1,000 for this dragon when the future release could fix potential problems the first one will have? Prefer red over green for your dragon? Skip this one and get the next. Mike Healy, 1549. This will be my first Mythic Legions purchase. Glad I happened upon this during the crowdfunding window. I know it's too late for input to 4 horsemen, but it would have been ideal to pick between 2 versions of the dragon. The standard dragon for $550, the upgraded dragon for $700. I just don't want to have to store an unused head and wings forever. Also, it makes sense to offer some bonus to the first X number of backers. There's no incentive to back early at all. Just throw in a green crystal, a relic, maybe an arm shackle, anything to create a rush to order. Freefall 347. I feel that the dragon could have been better served by improving the articulation in the neck and adding articulation to the wings, rather than having entirely separate pieces. While the base dragon would likely still be raised somewhat above the $550 it is now, it would also be much less than $850 than the $850 current all-in price, as well as reducing shipping costs by not needing to pack an entire extra neck, head, and set of wings. Even aside from that pricing, I do not like the idea of swap-out parts on such a huge figure. It is hard for me to imagine they get the tolerances on swap-out joints tight enough to support the weight without being extremely difficult to actually remove. You also end up having a store. You also end up having to store these enormous pieces somewhere when not in use. I do not think it is overpriced for what it is. This is a gigantic figure with tons of deco and unfortunately very heavy, so yes, shipping is going to be painful. I do, however, think they could have eliminated the need for the swap-out pieces altogether, and that would have saved everyone a good bit of money. Cincy John, my opinion, Fritos are an S-tier snack and don't get enough love. This is the one comment I will respond to since it was off topic. Fritos are okay, but they smell like dirty towels. All right, Chem Pop. What an incredible campaign and moment in toy history. I appreciate the opportunity to share my constructive criticism, and maybe my ideas will generate some worthwhile conversation regarding the design choices. I'm really looking forward to how this project develops, but I am likely just able to appreciate it from the sidelines. I think potential buyers would benefit from knowing more about the articulation. I want to know if that standard neck has a vertical ratcheted disc joint in order for the head to dip, lunge, and sit upright. I wish they found a happy medium with the head sculpts and used a single head with hinged jaw that works in conjunction with the flame effect successfully and not require a pricey upgrade kit. That is mostly neck, LOL. I wonder if PVC plastic like the Trolls was ever a possibility, and if it would have brought the cost down significantly. It certainly would have reduced weight and helped with shipping cost to cross-country and overseas customers. Lastly, I think Benagar and the Burning Night are incredible, but I have reservations about them as bonuses. Yes, they add value and incentive for those who are all in, but let's be real. Most collectors would have really loved the opportunity to buy them as standard releases. Thanks for giving fans a voice. Keep up the incredible work. Thallesbo, Thallesbo. I really don't know what people are complaining about it. Why people are complaining about it. I'm from Brazil. I'm going to have to pay twice the price of this piece just because shipping and taxes here. There is no magic. I also collect statues, one to one scale, 1/3 scale, quarter scale, and so on. The price for this piece is the same as any other piece of this size and weight. Etc. No. E.T. Crane, $78.99. It's a bit concerning they haven't addressed the default shipping method being free, which actually meant free pickup in New Jersey, which was fine in the main Store Horseman website because it clearly said in New Jersey, but on the ShopPay app, if you were rushing through to order, it just said free shipping and didn't show alternative options. There's no easy way to change or add shipping, and there hasn't been a formal response via email or the cabal that I've seen thus far. This comment got cut off. I don't know what happened to that comment. I apologize. E.T. Crane, looks like you may have gotten cut off there. Aussie Samurai. Bill, thank you for your always informative videos. Whilst the cost of the Dragon and add-ons come in a bit higher than expected, I know Four Horsemen aren't making a ton on this and just trying to make it work. It's shipping and specifically additional shipping options for the standard offering on Store Horsemen that could have made a significant difference, particularly for international buyers. EMS, UPS Worldwide Expedited come to mind. Both are significantly cheaper than the options on Store Horsemen and come with longer shipping times as a trade-off, but I also appreciate adding additional shipping options may or would likely come at a cost or impact to Four Horsemen. Thanks again. G. Marcus, 9128. Bill, it's your channel, your hobby, your time spent. Do as you will. There will always be those who feel their viewership and participation entitles them to direct you. Do as you will. Shura Beam. I feel like they could have cut the price more if they chose to go with articulated wings instead of add-ons, but nah. Down Under Bricks. And here I was watching so I could hear your opinion. Max Hammond. My opinion is that I want to hear your opinion when I watch one of your videos. On the Dragon, he is fantastic and I hope the crowdfunding succeeds, but I'm not buying it. With shipping and customs, it's just not reasonable for me. Mickey Perdomo. Well, of course it's going to express your opinion in your voice. It's your video. Morons. They want their voices heard. They should start their own YouTube channel. Personally, I see the value in funding Beyithirr. It's just out of my price range for now. But if it funds, you can be sure they will release another Dragon, and hopefully I'll be in a better position to pick it up. Roka891. The Dragon Knight is stunning, and I'm sad it's locked behind this giant paywall. With my limited collecting dollars, I would rather have 20 individual Mythic Legion figures for $1,000. I just went all in for the first time on the Rise of the Beasts wave, and I anticipate more great releases this year, and I want to have enough money for that. My greatest joy in Mythic Legions is customizing, and I just don't see much value in this for me. I would like to see more $25 to $30 range builder figures with new parts. The single skeleton was great and need more simple figures in that price range. All that said, I do hope it gets funded and others get to enjoy it. Oh boy. Fanboy Prime. I I have some mixed feelings, starting off with the most obvious. The dragon looks amazing. I don't think anyone can refute that point. It is visually stunning. When you hear Four Horsemen Studios in dragon, you expect the end product to look as good as Beyithirr does. Let's talk price. One thing a lot of people should remember is economies of scale. A natural comparison that people may make would be HasLabs. One thing to consider with HasLabs is they require more units sold in order for it to go into production. The smallest amount required for one of their most recent projects is 8,000 units. If we look at the Rattler, it required 9,000 units sold, and if you wanted to unlock all the stretch goals, 18,000 units had to move. Four Horsemen Studios does not have those kinds of numbers. Mythic Legions is still a very niche line. Because of this, the price per unit will be higher. They set a realistic sales goal, and this is the price. Because they move fewer units and because their shipping has peaks and valleys, I imagine this also impacts their ability to negotiate cheaper shipping prices, and because of the size of the studio, they can't eat the shipping cost. This is a small business. They may be popular and create cool products, but they are still a small business. Will I buy it? I'm leaning towards yes. I would like to receive my Necronominus order before I do. The delivery time for several lines seems to be taking longer and longer, and for that reason, I am not quite so enthusiastic about putting my money down. By the way, this isn't for just Mythic Legions and Cosmic Legions. I have backed several Kickstarters that some may consider Mythic adjacent, and I think the wait time is just wearing me down. I have pre-order fatigue. I know the Mythic adjacent lines aren't under Four Horsemen Studios control, but the pre-order model with extensive delivery times is getting old, regardless of toy line or company. Going in, I expect to place my order and then have to wait 2 years. I have seen them say that they are rather far along in the process, but given that they have never done something of this scale, I still think it is going to take 2 years, and that doesn't make for an exciting buyer. The stretch goals and add-ons have given me a bit to think about. Ultimately, I know I will regret not going all in. If I ordered the base dragon, but not the other set of wings or the additional fire-breathing head, I would feel like something is missing. For that reason, I think all in is the way to go. It is FOMO, pure and simple. I do like that they split up the base dragon in the add-ons. It makes for a more affordable product for a wider audience. That felt like a smart move to me. It is beautiful and it is expensive, and if you want it and it will bring you joy and you can purchase it responsibly, then you should. If you don't want it or can't justify spending the money, that is okay. It doesn't make you any less of a fan. Whew. Wow, ended with a big one. And thank you, Fanboy, for having good spelling and punctuation and all that. It makes reading it a lot easier. Anyway, that's it. I'm not going to comment. Again, if you want to comment, jump in the comments below. Tag, whoever's comment you're going to be responding to. Tag them. Let them know what you think. And let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. And until next time, may the force be with you.